I just got added by everyone on DB. Wowza. Hola. Wait, are you friends with them too? Or am I just gonna solo this? Right, a little late to the party, but my name is Aliena and I will be streaming for the tournament TO versus DB. Um, we did start off with Chrono losing the first round. Chrono represent for TO round. Oga of Team TO versus Praetorian of Dawnbreakers. Alright, so it's gonna be Portal versus Sword. So we're gonna see Oga. So we're gonna see Oga playing as the Portal and Praetorian for Sword. It seems to be a mid-range sword, and probably most likely artifact. So pretty standard lineups on both sides. 12 players passing turn 1. Praetorian has a couple options, but he did open with Homebound Mercenary. Nearly all the options that Olga has is going to be Icarus or Hamlin. Very interesting card. He's using an Imperial Swordsman, which is something that's we haven't seen very often for Portal decks. Does play the Hamlin, preserving his Icarus for later, but cloning a Cat Cannoneer so that he can use it for rush. So for this matchup, we're going to expect a lot of trading back and forth. Second card being played, Hedgehog, going for face for Praetorian. Cannoneer is going to go to work now. Ogo responding with a Cannoneer play, knocking out the Hedgehog, and then trading his Hamlin into Mercenary, leaving only the Cannoneer left in the dust. And for this one, he could crash his Geno into the cat, or he can play the Kuhulan. Both boards are empty again. This allows Olga to build up his hand state. Most likely that he's going to play the Icarus and then evolve it to grab a ancient artifact. So he has to make use of his evolve turn, or he can just pass and then save. He does evolve the Icarus. Does play the artifact and pass turn. Now it's turn 5, evolve turn for sword. So you could play the White Ridge, which is a perfect play. Evolve and then kill off the Icarus. And he will not incur any damage on his follower because of effect. He does play the White Ridge, evolving it, and killing off the Icarus. Now, with the outward rift, he does safely get rid of the white ridge. He's able to hit for 3. Now for turn 6, he could play the Geno, or he can play. Now Geno would probably be the best play, and just crash into the artifact, and then he'll have 2 followers left from the last words. Playing the frontline Cavalier, and then evolving it will probably be a waste, because he does want to save that 1 point for later. Now turn 6 for Portal. Unfortunately, he does not have a Deus Ex, so he can't play that. But then again, his hand size is incredibly large, so there's a lot of ways he can go about this. Olga probably knows that next turn he should assume that his opponent has an Arthur, so he probably will be saving the puppet strings just to soften the board, but also, and additionally, the 2 puppets will be able to knock out some things as well. It'd probably be safe to play the Hakrabi. But then again, there's a lot of options that he can do with this hand, so he does play the puppeteer string. Although I think personally probably would have been better to save it, because using the puppeteer strings on those two one attack, one defense swords, knights, they're probably not worth it. Praetorian just dropped the Arthur. Probably crash a Kahulin into the ancient artifact. Yep. And then attacking that in one phase. There's a lot of removal options for Portal, so starts off with banishing the Hedgehog with substitution, summoning the first puppet, trading into the Taji, playing both puppets and then trading into the Homebound. Then ending his turn with the Ironforge Fighter, evolving it and killing off the high defense Arthur. So very good board clear on Portal's side. Although unfortunately, the thing is that Sword has another Arthur, so he could drop that one as well. Although he has Momo, so he could just. Although if he were to trade, then he would lose Momo as well. So he'd probably be saving the Momo. Dropping Arthur here wouldn't be a bad, because he would put pressure upon Portal once again. And now that all of his puppets are used up, then he doesn't have a surefire way of getting rid of the second board. Does play the Arthur as expected, then trading the two followers into the Iron Forge. Now it is turn 8, so you could play the Imperial. Does. There's going to be a lot of damage on board for him. 8th attack. Defense. He does use up his last evolve point. And the proc, 4 damage proc on resonance. Now, little does he know that Sword has a Momo, so Momo should be able to clean up the Imperial Swordsman easily. Probably the safest removal option would just be playing the Momo. He does play the front line first, probably just to get the heal off it. It's a very big threat off the board. This leaves Portal once again with no any followers in play at the end of the turn. Plays the meta. This allows resonance for Hakuragi. So he's able to draw 2 cards and pull 2 cards instead of 1. Pulls Analyzing in the Radiant, but without Acceleration, then the Analyzing artifact will just be there, but it won't be able to rush or anything. He'd probably be forced to play the Cat Cannoneer just to clear off that 1 card, the Lux. Although Sword has been winning boards very convincingly, they haven't been running out of cards as of late. However, he did draw into a White Ridge, and possibly with his last evolve point, he might be just to use that and then kill off the Hakuragi. And then Portal has to deal with a very annoying Ward Bane card. Praetorian plays Mars into Lancer. So he is saving his White Ridge. He probably doesn't want to use it yet. And then manages to clear off the whole board. But yeah, Lancer is very strong. Now there's a couple options for Olga, but he doesn't. Hakuragi does pull 1 ancient artifact and another radiant, so just has to find a way to clear off the majority of this board because it is pretty annoying to deal with this much in one board. Would probably most likely be playing ancient artifact into substitution. You should be able to get rid of 2 cards at least. We use the substitution on the Lancer. Use the Ancient to get rid of the Mars. Plays Analyzing and ends turn. The Praetorian is top decking quite a few good cards, so he's still maintaining a pretty good foothold on this game. Does play Luminous Mage, and also play one go walk off with Boudica, or Frontline Cavalier. He does use his last evolve on the White Ridge. Now this is a pretty dangerous and terrifying board state for Sword. And Olga is slowly running out of options to get rid of this board. It's just gone way out of control. This should be game though. Let's crash the analyzing that post draw using the resonance hobby. Tutors 2 ancient artifacts. Play is been killing off the Luminous. This is the Cat Cannoneer. Unbelievably, he was able to clear off 4 out of the 5 cards on the Swords board. But we'll see what he's going to top deck. Oh no. Praetorian top decks Albert. And just when you thought Porter was finally going to get ahead, Praetorian just top decking every tool that he needed to get rid of Portal. And that is the end of the second match for this tournament. Two wins for DB and no wins for TO. Now we're just going to wait for the third. Seemed like I was locked out of the well, it seems like I forgot to put up the spectate. Allow spectators because I cannot join this next match. So apologies, folks. Guess I have to play some background music or something. Actually, all right, I am able to join. So it is DB Lemon versus Oga. Once again. A little late, but I should be able to pick up. There's gonna be Oga playing as Portal, and it's gonna be DB Lemon for Daria. I guess I'm assuming he's. Yep, gonna be Daria and Portal again. So typical Daria opening with Insight. Setting up his hand for the next Magic Missile. Olga does pass for turn 2. Does not have any 2 play cards, unfortunately. Does play a Magic Missile. Turn 3 Cat Cannoneer. We're going to see Concentration, just adding more draw power to Daria. We see a Magic Owl being played. Let's play the Magic Missile. We're gonna have a Magic Owl evolve. Playing Blade Mage. Killing off the Canyoneer with the Owl and then hitting 2 for face with the Blade Mage. Olga responds with Puppeteer Strings, killing off the Daria board. Now Lemon playing his second Owl and evolving. Dropping the play points down for every card, pretty much every card in his hand. Playing Double Ogler, playing Enchanted Sword and boosting one Ogler. Then he finishes his turn with Daria and another Ogler. So triple Ogler, 1 Owl and a Daria. This is pretty insane. Now Olga responds with Deus Ex, but it's just simply way too much damage on board. This insane high roll is what makes Daria one of the most hated decks of this meta, but you have to, it's very effective. So Lemon very convincingly finishing off Olga in the 3rd round. Mèo bị nó sắp mấy bên phòng này. Dạ, hai bên. This is gonna be Olga once again. We're gonna be playing against X9 from Team Dawnbreakers. It's gonna be, seems to be like Summit Haven versus Portal. So Olga gonna be starting off with a meta production. Haven unfortunately doesn't have anything to play, so he will be passing his turn. I'll go playing Mech Wing. He's gonna be shuffling a Analyzing and a Radiant into the deck. Now, probably Haven probably be using the or playing the Singer to make use of the 3 play points available to him. Or he can banish to maintain the board state. But yes, he does make use of it. Playing Singer, a cudgel. Now, most likely Olga will probably be saving substitution because, I mean, he could banish the Singer, but that would just be denying the draw, but there's obviously more dangerous things in Haven's arsenal to be banishing. Let's just play the Med Wing and then go for face. His evolve turn is next though, so you shouldn't be too worried. He does play substitution, denying Haven the draw, and then 2 for face. And we will be seeing a Snow White play. Go banish. Olga banishing the Snow White, and then ending turn. Now for Haven, turn 5, evolve turn. He could play the March Hare, and then pass. And then that will force Portal to respond with something of their own in order to get rid of the Tin Soldier. Which is probably that would be a perfect setup so that Cudgel can banish it next turn. Suppose he played the Hagrabi. He can play more defensively and try and build his hand. He's playing Cudgel in a Globe with the Starways. Now he does play the Cudgel and the Globe. Though he not the best pull, because he did pull another Globe. But he is saving that March Hare for an Evil turn swing, because he knows that there's a lot of things that Portal that he needs to get rid of on Portal side. This does leave Portal with a couple options. Now next turn, he should be able to play the Deus Ex and able to proc the effects so that he can keep resetting his hand every resonance turn. Although if he plays the Hagrabi, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Although it wouldn't be optimal because it's not a resonance turn. He does build out his deck though. Plays the Iron Forge, shuffling 2 Radiants, evolving and then killing off the Cudgel. Havens will probably be most likely be going to respond with a Cudgel of their own or RT time evolve and using the damage to kill off the Iron Forge. Let's play his second globe. I guess he was trying to hope for a tribunal so that he can save an evolve point. But at this rate, he is forced to use an evolve point in order to get rid of that Iron Forge. Now it is evolve turn. Olga can play the Deus Ex. That won't hurt him that much because he doesn't. There's not really anything that he's afraid of throwing away, except maybe the Hagrabi and the Biofab. But let's see. Probably be a good idea for him to play Deus Ex to reset his hand because, like I said, this is not really the best hand. He wants to draw into like his Outworld and all that. Plays Deus, evolves, takes out the Tin Soldier. Let's play the puppets for the fun of it, but they will be disappearing next turn, so it really doesn't matter. Now he does pull a decent hand with a resonance effect from Deus. Now turn 9 is slowly approaching. If this is an Aegis deck, then he wants to have his Aegis as soon as possible. Although he does have an Ether, so if he manages to live until turn 10, then he'll be able to play Ether into the Aegis. Although if this is Summit Haven, then he really wants to pull into or to draw into the Temple and the Knight, the Heavenly Knight. Does play the second March and then banishes the Deus Ex with his scripture. But now that thanks to Deus, Porto has a lot of ways to answer pretty much anything that Haven throws at him, unless it's Aegis. Although that is a little ways away. But yeah, quite a few options for Porto to deal with this setup board. We're now opening his turn with a Iron Forge Fighter. He's shuffling a couple more Radiants into the deck. Now, interestingly, he didn't banish the Outworld. Instead, he just developed his board using his last evolve point to evolve his Iron Forge and then attack. Now, thanks to the globe, he does Lemon does pull into his not Lemon. X9 pulls into his draws into his Aegis. Just in the nick of time too. Now, Haven really doesn't want to use their last evolve point because they do want to save it for the Aegis, so chances are he'll probably just drop his Nowis and his Snow White. And they should be able to mitigate the damage for this turn, and then he'll be able to safely drop his Aegis next turn. This plays Hella Dogma. Plus 2 turns on the counter, and then playing the Ether. And the Ether pulled the Heavenly Knight, so that's actually a better play. So, and he uses his last evolve point on Tin Soldier, getting rid of the Iron Forge Fighter. and the Cannoneer. And now that leaves Haven with a strong board. Something that's kind of difficult to get rid of because now on the opponent's turn, Heavenly Knight is 7/8, which is unfortunately banished by the Outworld. Although at this time, it's kind of difficult to get rid of the Knight. He cannot crash it with the Cat Cannoneer because it will be one off. He does use his last 3 play points, playing his Cat Cannoneer, knocking out the other. But that does leave a 5/4 tin soldier on the field. It's a pretty safe board to drop Aegis for X9. Now Haven has no fear to drop the Aegis. Does go for face for 5. Now Porto is... The state of the game for Porto now is completely turned on its head because he needs to find a way to deal 18 damage the next turn or two. Because right now we are staring at 13 damage on board for Haven. He also has additionally Naus and 2 Heavenly Knights, so he'd be able to mitigate a lot of damage. So chances are Haven will be winning this game. Now Olga playing his Radiant. Crashing into it, drawing a card, playing and analyzing. And I was filling up the board with Icarus and all that. Now with Resonance, he'll be able to refill his hand one more time. Oh, unfortunately for it's very unfortunate for Porto, but Haven drew into the Jean. And with her, she'll be able to just safely clean the board and remove all threats. And he'll be free to swing for 8 damage. Now with the destruction of analyzing, allowed Olga to go into an Imperial Swordsman, although unfortunately won't be able to do much good for him at this state. And X9 will be finishing off his turn with a Naus and a Glow. So it doesn't matter what, it doesn't really matter what Porto can do because now all the damage is mitigated. He can try as he might, but if he can throw some wards, then he might be able to survive another turn, but he's just pulling all these Radiant artifacts. It's a good card, but he doesn't have the play points to utilize it. Let's play the second march. That would be the end of game 4 for Portal. So that'll be four games going into Team Dawnbreakers. Unfortunately, no points or no wins gained for Team Omnibus. We're gonna go into our 5th game now. So it's gonna be Hyena. We're waiting for our 5th and final player from Team Dawnbreakers. Scary for Team Omnibus because they need to win the game. Otherwise, Dawnbreakers will be able to knock them out of the water. The clean 5-0. All right, to everyone who's watching, welcome to this TO versus Dawnbreakers scrim. This is going to be the last game for Dawnbreakers if they manage to win, and then for Team Omnibus, hopefully they'll be able to pull off a underdog win and be able to climb back. But let's hope for the best. Now it's going to be Trickster versus Hyena. Trickster playing Shadow and Hyena playing Forest. So it's going to be a Control Forest versus mid-range Shadow. With the mulligan opening hand, Hyena pulling a King Elephant. Not the most optimal draw that he wants, but you take what you can get. On the other hand, for Shadow, he does pull into an Aisha, something that he doesn't want early. But he does have the Bellinus and the Skull Ring to make up for it. On the other hand, for Forest, we do have plenty of removal. So he should be able to survive for a while. Now it just pretty much falls into the game of whoever whether or not Shadow can rush down Forest or not. If they're able to rush him down, Forest won't be able to get to turn 10 to finish him off. Now, Belen is being responded with a Sylvan Justice. Forest just has to play the control game, basically. It probably won't. It probably won't. It won't really bring down Shadow that much because he does have some skull rings and Belinus as well. The second Belinus. Plays the skull ring, setting off 2 skeletons. Hyena responding with a Stereo Elf, pulling his Wood of Brambles. That's going to be a very key card for this because he'll be able to match against the skeletons and kill them off safely. Shadow is pulling a Necro Assassin, so it's going to be able to take out, snipe a card. Or you can just play a Belinus into Zombie Party. That wouldn't be a bad play either. And you can just save his Necro Assassin for a bigger target. I was expected Zombie Party into Belinus. 2 damage for Skeleton. This won't phase Forest very much because now this is their evolve turn. Should be able to play Brambles into a couple fairies, evolve, knocking out some cards. And trying to set up a board state. But Shadow is running a little bit low on fumes right now. So the whole Team Omnibus riding on Hyena's shoulders needs to be able to pull off this win so that they can still be in the tourney. Let's play the Golbu. Evolving the Goblin and then resetting her using Airbound Barrage, knocking out Belinus, preventing him from using his F to ping 1. Now the Skull Ring does revive 1 Belinus. Shadow drawing into the Ector, which is very needed for later. It's going to be a nice setup. Nice curve, Skeleton Prince into Ector. Although, unfortunately, there's not really a very good play for Shadow right now. If he plays Necro Assassin, he'll just waste a card. If he plays Aisha, then he would lose his finisher. He might probably just evolve his skeleton and attack for phase 3, although that may or may not be a waste of an evolve point. Now he does play evolving the skeleton, so just pushing for more damage. I guess for Shadow's mentality, he wants to push as much damage as possible to end this game ASAP, because he knows that when he gets to the later turns, it's going to be the chances of him winning is going to be it's going to be less. Thanks to Forrest's very dangerous controlled cards. Now with Aisha in play, it's going to be a little difficult for Insect Lord to snipe anything out. So unfortunately, it's not turn 6, so Lily cannot be used to turn somebody into a snowman. So it leaves us with a couple options. Does play the fairy, plays the brambles. Places Insect Lord to finish off the curve, knocking out the Belinus, but unfortunately Belinus responding with his last words effect and destroying the Insect Lord. Hyena does force to play, he forced to evolve, using Brambo's effect to knock out Aisha. Now most logical play here would just be playing the Skeleton Prince, then attacking for another 3 damage. This is setting up to be very good for Shadow right now. Although keep in mind that Forrest does have a Cassiopeia. And pretty much a full hand, so he's able to do quite a bit of damage. Draws another Cassiopeia. Does drop it. He most likely be evolving the Cassiopeia. Yep. Now this is a bit of a risky play, because if the opponent had a Soul Squasher, then he would lose his Cassiopeia, but he knows that if he drops that Ector, that's going to do some serious damage with the remaining skeletons on board. Let's do 1 damage to face with Skeleton, and then sacrificing it for with Necro Assassin, knocking out Cassie. He ends his turn with a Lurching. Probably Forrest most likely needing to drop Cassiopeia to get rid of this board. Playing Lily could be an option as well, but it does leave followers on board. The only issue with dropping Cassiopeia would be if when it kills off the Lurching, Cassie will also die as well. So it is a bit of a conundrum for Forrest. Also, additionally, he has not drawn into his White Wolf of Eldwood. And that's something that's very necessary for this deck, because you need that 0-cost elephant. Does finish off his curve with a 1 fairy. Now Shadow drawing into his Odile. Instead he does play his Ector, creating an instant board with 1 Ector and 2 zombies, destroying that 1 fairy. And now Forrest is left with a couple options here. Probably safest would just be playing Lily and then turning the Ector into a snowman, because his stat line is very difficult to get rid of at this state. So Hyena should just pray to play Lily and then hope that he doesn't drop, Shadow doesn't drop another Ector, because that would be very bad. But yeah, the removal cards are kind of lacking in Forrest's hand right now. Now, interestingly enough, he does play his elf song, creating more fairies. Although he does have another elf song, so I guess he wants to bolster his board. The thing is that even if he does do that, he'd be hard pressed because Odile would be able to knock out everything that he has. Things are not looking very good for Forest right now, though. Despite them having a huge hand, there's just it's just rather lacking at this stage. What he does want to pull though would be possibly Aaron. Crystalia Aaron be able to stall the game for a little longer. Although Shadow does have an answer to that with Necro Assassin. Now Shadow playing Odile, destroying the Odette. He evolves his Snowman, pushes for an additional 2 damage, making it 3. Then Odile's effect, leaving him with 2 HP left. So unfortunately, he draws into his Jungle Warden, but that won't be able to save him. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's going to be any option. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any way for us to clear this out. Plays his 3. Plays his Elf Song. Let's build up a board, but it's simply just too late. Shadow just out every step of the way. And that much concludes the match for this scrim for Dawnbreakers versus Team Omnibus. All right, to all the viewers that are out there, thank you for tuning in. See you in the next tournament. You guys all have a good day.